Cobra is over in Team 1, ready to go. God, this smog is so good. Like, the mask really completes it. I'm a big fan of masks. But like the rest of the Shivara set, I'm a big fan. Dookie back in with the shovels ready to go. We got ourselves Wen L1, I don't even know, Wiz on this team, as well as Yareem with Cobra is going to be a first upset in the gate versus Minicosa. Hell of a matchup with Monks getting their healing nerfed. Actually, Monks also got nerfed this week too, 8% all across the board. I want to see how that ends up impacting versus Cobra's immediate succubus catch as he goes in for a port, but does get rid of for a second, gives him a moment to at least establish an immolate with an infernal crashing down onto Minicosa. Bonds and fell trapping him in place. He's got himself the big demon with Ruination Karma immediately really early on as Cobra is boarding away, making sure to get himself quite a bit of distance. Gates, or at least portals, circles setting up ahead of time. Minicosa finally able to lock the guy down. Darkback holding strong with a succubus catch on the midway through. That Karma got a lot of value stun to follow. Casbolt right after her, quite a bit of damage too. Got him some plenty of defenses to rotate out of. And it's gonna be Cobra's got himself even more resources, more demons summoned up. Minicosa rolling through all of his defenses. That's actually his diffuse. That's gonna be Karma as well as for everything got burned with a wall for Cobra. He's trying to see if he can just take this damage up. I don't think he can though. That is just so much damage just going through. The full 40% damage reduction. Got himself Ruination. Quite a bit of damage off for this one. Mortal Casbolt does not have the fast cast. So far, fast cast though is huge. Second bolt right after. It's not enough to take him out. It's just eating bolts. You know what I'm realizing slowly? I don't think, you know how we have a hunter, Liana, right? Liana. I'm really bad with names, man. But the survival hunter that's been just absolutely super tanky against Cobras. Look at his Casbolts. I feel like they no longer chunk out as much as they used to, right? It's a lot more of a steadier game, a lot more of a slower pace, right? You're not gonna see a class just bursting the other in like 2 seconds. But it used to be like what Shadowlands Casebolt used to literally one shot if one of them went off. God forbid you had 2 of them go off. Dragonflight more or less the same, right? Every single one of them does a lot. Like these chunk out a good bite out of Minicosa's health bar, but they're not enough to like set him in danger unless the Warlock is able to really commit a combo. That or get the most amount of damage combos altogether. Trying to go for a fear in Capture Fallout. It's gonna be a full CC out for Minicosa. Got himself a big old board, but the Clash puts him back in. He does have the Gateway. I don't know if the cooldowns for Gateway are down. Celestial Conduit, huge damage to the Corpus, dropping down a stun with an Infernal onto Minicosa. Just trying to see if he can keep himself at bay away from the guy. Got himself full Ruination. Succubus catching the man. If he gets himself full Ruination, does he have a fear? He's trying to see if he can shade a fear into 1 bolt, 2nd bolt, double bolt, 3rd bolt. That's got himself an extra demon and everything into an Infernal. All that damage available, but a Karma reversing all of it back at Karma's. All that pressure, all that power. I guess you do quite a bit of damage with your Casbolt, so honestly. I guess you actually do end up doing quite a bit of damage with your bolts. I just think a lot of it is just gonna reverse you with that Karma. Oh no. Oh man. Charge out by Dookie. Got him some full go. Trick out on Minicosa. 0 damage VT or WTF. In Ruination? Yeah, I actually looked at that. Like, did they break it? Because that's supposed to be huge amounts of damage. That's supposed to be like a huge portion of your overall. That or like or Cobra. And this is what I'm thinking of. What if it's, oh, is that a fire? That is a fire. That is a torch. I never noticed it. Put in the camera literally in the heat. But like I noticed the Ruination has like a meteor travel time. I wonder if they could just walk out of the meteor. So maybe you gotta stun Ruination and then it connects. Because normally in PvE you just stun a Ruination and most mobs don't really move that fast, right? So you could really just send it and have yourself a go. Dookie Fighter might just have to send it. That or he needs to have himself a go full Celestial Channel out of Minicosa. Got him some just enough damage with those blackout kicks. Taking the guy out right afterwards with WL. I want to call him Win. I want to call you Win, the DK, because I Win L IWNL. I don't really know. I feel like he needs a nickname or something because the name by itself does not roll off the tongue. Karma immediately IBF as W and IWNL. You see what I mean? You see it when the DK. With the DK is what I think what I'm gonna go with, man. The DK win? I guess so. I think it's supposed to be I win L. I don't even know. Lexium out by Minicosa. The DK bulk was super low, but the Death Knight looking for a bit of recovery, gripping the guy in, yoinking him back over. Has he got no health whatsoever? Does he have the execute? I think just a couple of clone shadows and a death coil. My dude got himself a little bit of healing last second, looking for a bit of damage. Lynchborn as well as a death pact out of the Death Knight, bringing the death to a monk who's got 2 for 2 so far. But I mean, if Minicosa just kept on going, there was no shot the rest of the team would have got a chance to play. Sacred, it's another name, right? It's because of Sacerdosan. Actually, kind of a cool name, Sacerdosan. I almost want to call him Sacredosan, but that's not his name at all. Does get himself a kick with the pet, looking for a grip, but I think the pet charge also is a root at the same time. Is it not? Stunned, but it's going to be a trinket out of the Shadow Priest, trying to see if he can back away from the Death Knight as best as possible. He's got himself the Void Tentacles, but attacking the pet instead of the DK. Silence on a win just to make sure that he can get himself a little bit of cast off here and there. Fade to follow, got himself the instance with a quick root to follow. This is going to be the Death Knight breaking out of the root while on the charger, dropped himself the A-bomb. The full army of the Apocalypse, the Riders of the Apocalypse are all in here. They're ready to go, charging out to Saker, but the actual Riders themselves did get nerfed by like 15%, but they're doing quite a bit of damage. Look at that. The Death Knight barely can even touch him. Oh, that's all pet damage right now. Wait, he just might die to pet damage. What is this? That is the nerf version of these pets. That is the nerf version of these pets. He's got himself Void Shoring, got himself a full kick, looking for a bit of a heal. No disperse available, might be down, and that's going to be an army of the dead reaping the man down, taking out his soul, ripping him in half, summoning up the ghouls, and is ready to go right after versus Rocat Mage, who I think he said is bugged, where Frostfire Bolt doesn't work. So it's like a Frostfire Bolt mage that doesn't have a Frostfire Bolt, essentially. I think. I'm not 100% though, but for a win, if he is bugged, that'll be a great time, great opportunity to actually do something against the mage, because you see mages do incredible amounts of damage, and so far, this man got a bit of that survivability. Ray of Frost got himself the casting while on the move. The pet channeling down at our win. Stun does not have a way out of this one, has himself images, so at least he's got himself defense to work with. Plenty of flurries and lances. The Death Knight under a ton of pressure, got death back by the looks of it. I don't know if the cooldown's up or not, and I wouldn't might be under a ton of trouble here. He's got mobility, so if anything, at least he can just waddle away from the mage. He's trying to see if he can catch him. Went to a death back last second, trying to see if he can maximize that health gain. The guy was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until I have actually no health, then I'm gonna go for a full go. There goes the army, there goes the Riders. As long as he can get those Riders attacking the mage, then you might be okay. AMS up to right after. The mages do, the Riders do get to surround Rocat, and he might be under a ton of trouble here. Trying to see if he can go for Novas. He needs to find a way to escape the situation, looking for a block potential, trigger to follow. Got himself the Shatters onto the win, and that's going to be Ray of Frost. I think seals the deal. It does, and I'm taking it with. Who's going to be next? It's going to be Yareem, the Fire Mage. Is he going to give him a proper Honor Duel? I think he's trying to go for it. I think he's doing it. Rocat, the Frost Mage, versus Yareem the Fire. Are you Frostfire? So it's a Frostfire Fire Mage versus a Frostfire Frost Mage. You know what? Normally under these kind of conditions, I would say, wow, it's a cool thematic kind of component. You got the fire and the frost fighting each other. The two elements that are, you know, the opposites attract here, or the opposites attack, but actually they're basically the same element. They're more like one another, in fact. One is going to be thrown out comet storms and meteors, and so is the other. You know what I mean? Plus they have shields, and they're gonna start spell stealing each other's shields, but it's like you got baby shield, and you got the real shield. Breath to follow in the opener. Rocat with a frost bomb. He's got himself quite a bit of burst. His pet, did he get Chain of Ice? Is your pet Chain of Ice from earlier? Is that a thing? So when the pet disappears, then he has a CC, just keep that CC. Frostfire Bolts, I think, are flying in for Rocat. The Poly, while he's moving for Yareem, taking quite a bit of damage, having to go for a full burn spree onto Rocat, trying to see if he can go for the G-Pie, potentially massive damage. Does he go for a big combust, trying to drop down a Meteor? It's going to be all champ for Rocat. I don't know if you're able to spell steal it. You don't have the mana for it. Trying to go for whatever cast you can. That's going to be flurries and plenty of comments down with a rare frost. Unless you have a kick, he does lock him out. Into a Breath to follow. Do you have a setup? Because he's still taking damage. Trying to go for a proper Frostfire Bolt here, but the guy got himself a Poly. Unless you do anything, you know, Frost Bomb, Shatter, and it's going to be a block. Rocat still has not used a block at all, so he still has 2 blocks available for him, so that is an advantage. But just to make an Arcanic Fire and Arcanic Frost, I imagine, like, if the hero talents thing, or the hero specs, is something they're going to continue and build upon in future expansions, I could totally see them add other hero talents to the future, Bracco. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Imagine like they add like an extra one next expansion, or maybe they add one every few patches. You know what I mean? More options over time, developed little by little. I could see something like this become a real thing. And then we have a bunch of different ways to modify our classes further. Big blaster, huge damage, ice block last second. I don't even know how Rokat survived. This man's health literally went down to 0. Uraim does not have a block, but he does have a cheat death, so at the very least, he might be able to get himself an escape. Sitting down for food, Rokat not even going for a bit of a reset there. 54% dampening is making it a little bit harder for him to recover. Shifted power for both mages, but Rokat still has the ace up the sleeve with a second block, so he's going to be, I think, mostly okay. If he can juke out a kick out of Uraim, he might be golden. Meteor coming down, does go for the trinket. Uraim with an Alter Chime, trying to see if he can reposition this completely, but he's getting frozen down, Nova'd out, can't really go anywhere, can't really blink this aggressively, and I think it's just going to be the mage. The Frosty taking down the fire, does go for the lance, that's going to be cheat death. Oh, he kills him in a cheat death, hold on, but does he escape? He doesn't escape, he does not escape, so it's a cross kill for the both of them. My goodness. The cross kill is so good. Buff Mugs nerf made his taco. What do you mean, Buff Mugs? Did you see the man, the myth, the legend do well? Wigs trying to see. Are you playing Ice Form? You are Ice Form. You're immune to stuns while Ice Form is active. But you also playing Frostbolts, right? Or at least you be playing into Frostbolts for sure. If this man is Ice Form, definitely should be playing Frostfire Mage, because those Frostbolts are doing more damage with the Ice Form on. Trying to go for Nova. Reflect up for Warrior, because he's trying to go burn, living up to his name. Meteor coming down, so you are a Frostfire, definitely. Trying to see if you get a setup, but that's all that thunderous damage if the Warrior does a couple of thunderclaps next to you. Or Thunder Blasts at this point. Those do a ton of damage. You don't want to get hit by those if you can help it. So this playstyle Warrior is more sustained base. Trying to go for big spike. Stun is available. Blink is there immediately for as soon as you get hit. Another spike, do you have a way to reposition? He doesn't. He's trying to see if he can combine the spikes together into one big hit. But it's going to take him a second longer here. Second win out for Warrior Go Bird. Got him some Blaze Storm. Ultra. Got himself the form as well, unless it's a random proc. I can't tell if it's a random. That might have been a real form that time. Real. Oh! Maybe it was a proc, actually. Might have been a proc. Got him some Trinket. No orb going in completely the opposite direction. The Warrior doesn't have capitalizing on him. I'm down to go again. Win with 2, Monacosa with 2, Maidens playing off of one another. That was gorgeous. Let's get us another going here, boys. Keep the groups together if we can at all help it.